ఇదేదో చాలా అంటే టూ గజిబి అంటే టూ మచ్ రైటింగ్ అండ్ పిక్చర్స్ అనిపిస్తుంది.
Hello friends, welcome to Thinking and Destiny book club. So before going to the session, let us go into the meditation for 3 minutes. Clasp your hands, sit in a comfortable posture, cross your legs, gently close your eyes. Friends, we are all connecting to the group consciousness. We are all connecting to the oral perceivable consciousness. To understand the wisdom of perceivable at this moment. Just observe your normal, easy, soft, happy breath. Okay friends, keep both hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Gently open your eyes. Let's welcome Bala Garu to recap the previous session.
Thank you. Thank you, Sirisha. So let us summarize the last week's section 6 summary. Here, the ongoer on his life path and light path, he discusses. So the ongoer or sadhaka, with the help of a guide, passes through a hall and take a shower under a fountain of crystal clear sparkling water to wash off his body of life. After cleansing, he feels oneness with the mineral and plant, animal, and human kingdoms. So he feels the oneness immediately. He feels beyond time and feels mankind extending from ocean to stars. And also he feels oneness with the astral and earthly human bodies. And that's how, after all the cleaning of all his lives, that's how, he feels. He feels the urge to help from to help the farm world beings. So he immediately has this urge of helping the human beings on the earth. And also the last doers and ancient dead beings asked his help to liberate them, but he looks into the light and chooses the choice of light path. So instead of going down and helping them, he chooses to further ascend into the light path. The guide departs him at the end of the farm path. So the guide so far, whoever guides until that farm path, he leaves. He leaves him. He meets the new teacher at the beginning of the life path. The teacher appears in human form, but he is simple and modest. He is a being of the form, life, and light worlds. He is also very ascended and who are into all the three worlds. On the life path, he increases the mind of rightness and the reason. When he comes into the life path, he has the increased the rightness and the reasoning. He has a lot of body mind powers, but does not use them. He learns the law and destiny of the thoughts, comprehends cycling of thoughts and their exteriorization. So that means, he immediately he can exteriorize, with the thought, just only with the thought itself, he can exteriorize. That power he has. He finds solutions of his problems on his own without a guide assistance. The teacher does not instruct him. When the ongoer is in communication with the rightness and the reason, he comes to the end of life path. And there the life path ends and he enters into the light path. Now, when the ongoer breathes the life force air, each unit of his body sings the song of life. All nature units join in the singing. So he enjoys, so much. So that becomes like singing beautifully. Now the teacher asks him whether he wants to continue on life path or he will go on to the light path. So there he will decide. The ongoer decides to go on to alone on light path. And there, from now on, the journey starts on his own without a guide on the light path. At this stage, he develops the mental power to know without the process of thinking. And also he connects to the knower of the triune self. There in that stage, he connects completely directly to the knower on the other side, astral side of the knower of the triune self. Here he goes through white fire, burns away all his illusions. All the walls separating life to life, place to place, state to state dissolved. He sees himself present in all the parts of physical nature. In this life path, he knows himself as the triune self of identity and knowledge in the light of intelligence. So, like we know, like at this stage, he knows that who his real self is, where he is one with everything, all the nature. He knows himself as the knower of the triune self in the noetic atmosphere. Within that light, he is familiar with all the three worlds. Three worlds in the sense like life, form world, life world, and the light world. He knows all 12 portions of his doer that re-existed successively or they are all one. At that point, he realizes, even though he had so many lives and he re-existed, reincarnated, but they are all in one. He realizes only one. He knows death and re-existence, all of his bodies. So he can, he realized, he sees all his past incarnations. Now, in his perfect physical body, he is in all three worlds at the same time, form, life, and light at the same time. He knows himself to be the triune self complete and the great triune self of the world he joins. So when he becomes the complete triune self, at that point, he joins the great triune selves of the world. The supreme intelligence works through these great triune selves of the world. So the supreme self, we all know that it works, and also they are the ones, they control the universal laws. This great triune self is all feeling, all thinking, all knowing. So in this great triune self, he has all the feeling of all thinking, all knowing of everything, all the universe. And he is omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. He feels through all the triune selves, from all beings of the light world to doers, light world to the doers in human bodies to lost doers. So that means that everywhere, everybody, he knows, just thinking itself, he can contact them. And then in a great triune self knows, at this stage, he knows the state of each human being and also the collective state of all human beings at all times. So that is his, his state. But human beings are not conscious of the great triune self, which feels and thinks with them and knows what they know. So even though they are with us, but he is saying, we as a human beings, we are not conscious of our great triune self, who is always guiding us. The great triune self is the coordinator for the intelligences and the interactions of their doers on physical plane. So they are the ones who guide the laws and who, who administer. He chooses to take part in the administration affairs of the universal law. So because he joined in that great triune self world. Later, he leaves the presence of the great triune self of the worlds, returns to his present physical body. Then the life and the form body stops to exist, and the knower exists in the light body. So once he experiences the great world, and also then he comes out, and then there is when he comes into the physical body, his life and form body stops to exist, and then completely he comes into the light body. He enters. After this, the triune self enters into him through the skull and becomes perfect immortal physical body. So that is how at this stage, through the skull, the complete triune self enters into the body. He becomes one complete light body. He sees the same consciousness in all the knowers and the doers. The ongoer sees his light of intelligence as a knower, and intelligence of sphere of fire in supreme light of intelligence, whose light is the truth. So at that stage, he sees his own light of intelligence as a knower, and also the total intelligence as a sphere of fire, which is nothing but the real truth. He recognizes his teacher as a being of the three worlds. So at that time, he recognizes that his teacher is nothing but not a human being, but he exists in all the three worlds. Now he can direct nature forces through his nerves, through his thoughts and emotions. He can start or stop a riot or a war. At this stage, he's saying, he has so many powers. Only through his thoughts, emotions, he can start, on the physical plane. Either he can stop a riot or he can start a war, depending upon situations. At this stage, the perfect triune self in physical world works through pelvic brain. As a doer in the form world, it works through abdominal brain. As a thinker in the life world, it works through the thoracic brain, thorax, and also as a knower in the light world, it works in the brain, in upper spinal cord and the head region. So this is how it works in 4 different regions. The complete triune selves are high officers of the law of thought. They act only according to the universal laws without interfering in human beings' choice. Even though the complete triune selves, they know everything, but they only they just run the universe according to universal law, but they will not interfere in the individual human being's choice. He joins other triune selves in the noetic world, and he feels beyond the time. And now he is free from re-existing on the birth. That means he is liberated. So that's the end of section 6.
Thank you, Balagaru, for recap. So welcome to Prasanna Garu. Over to you, Prasanna Garu.
Thank you, Balagaru, for a quick recap in detail. Even though it's a recap, it was given very detailed. So now we come to the last section of the Great Way. Right? So we are all interested what Percival is saying in the Great Way. So we will, you will be we will be like, definitely feel like, oh my God, this was taught by our sir long back. That's the one that you all will be feeling it. So let's go without any delay. Let's go. Preparing to enter upon the Great Way. Oh, we was given a Great Way. It was so beautiful. All Satya Yuga is coming to us. how we can prepare our way. What is the way that we can go it? Everybody wants to live in that kind of thing, right? The light path, the life path, that kind of thing. So, what is the preparation? Honesty and truthfulness. There's nothing else. Honesty, honesty. You should be honest, and truthfulness. And the regenerative breath is giving away is a regenerative breaths and 4 stages of thinking. So we are going to learn these 3 things. Honesty and truthfulness is the way, regenerative breath, and the 4 stages of our thinking. That's what Percival is going to give us today. Okay. This section is like, what he's saying is, how do we feel? Because we have to feel that we have to go, right? So first you need to feel that you need to go away. The system of thinking, right, is the end of the book is the end of the book is how we have to change our system of thinking. It leads from the beginning to the end of the great way. So all the thinking is we need to change here, not anywhere outside. We need to change inside. The way that leads to the human self-consciousness, immortality, cannot be traveled by anyone. So remember, if you want to become an immortal, it cannot be done by a guru or cannot be done by somebody. You have to decide that you want to travel to immortality. It is your own choice. It's your personal choice that you need to decide whether you want to travel to this path or not. That is as simple as that. Everyone, because when there was so much luxuries were given to you, and that time we may think that, oh, when the light path is so well, why don't we travel? Why don't we go there? If you imagine, right, the person who is actually doing a daily wages in the fields or anything, there is a less chances that he has to lie. He will be very honest. If he works, then only he'll get a money. Once he get a money, whether he drinks or eats or whatever it is, there is a less chances to lie about, isn't it? The more you are actually growing in your life, so the lie became so, it's okay to lie. That kind of thing we got it. Suppose anybody, right? Oh, why are you late? Traffic jam. Really, whether that day traffic is there or not, that's a secondary thing. Immediately they'll say the traffic is hectic traffic. Have you started? Sometimes you promise somebody and they called, oh, I just started, I'm on my way. But you must not have started from home. So these are all the small things which you feel they are okay, but they are not honest. You're not honest, right? So became in the life such a way that the lie which is not harmed by anyone is okay. Who defined? We ourselves defined. That's a kind of thing, right? So when so many things are there to experience in this life, when there is so much luxury was presented, it is a hard one to choose the path of going into this light path. It's not that easy, because there were so much luxuries were given. To go into the light path, you should go inward, not outward. If you are going outward, you are not actually going to the light path. But all the world is actually so amazing and so much that people are going outward. So today in my office, in one of the call, right, he's saying, she used some word, I didn't remember exactly the word, because those who are doing the Excel for file transfers and all those things belongs to some kind of generation. That name I didn't remember. So I feel so bad, but they are using that word. It's a negative word, all that she's talking. I said, we may be using Excels or we may be using an AI, but our generation people never give up. We never tremble. We never gave up. We know the difficulties will come in the life. We faced it, isn't not? We faced it. We are the bridge. We are facing the all the things that whatever that we have it, right? So there's no need to feel bad. We may not know all the advanced cloud, that, this and all, but we stand. For the next generation to come here and experience the life over here, who is the one actually who took all the pains to establish ourselves in this country? Is it not our generation? So one cannot just like that they say, oh, you belong to the old generation or you belong to. If they say yes, old is gold. I just talk. Yeah, tell them that old is gold. Because that's the kind of thinking that we all should get it right. We should see what is the positive side of it. What is the positive side of the things that we are doing? When you are so confident about yourself, you will get that kind of ideas. When you are not confident, right, you will not be able to see anything positive. That is where that's where we have to see anything. Some people, anything that you give it, right, they will find immediately negative thing. Some people, anything you give, they see the positive side of it. We have to be in that side. So we need to think when there is so many opportunities are there, the way that it leads the human consciousness, it cannot be traveled by everyone. Even though all of us know the knowledge, or even though the Percival is given the knowledge for every one of us, it's not so easy to travel in that path. We have to consciously take a decision that we want to travel in that path. That's what it's a personal choice. It is not. It is that it is. But remember, this is the destiny of everybody. Everyone has to go there. But when we will go, when the destiny comes, we all will go. Maybe after 2000 births or 4000 births or 5000 births, we all will go. But consciously, only few people can go. Because when everyone is going, right, not that time, but when everyone is going, in the sense when all your around the people, if everyone is good, you can't be bad, isn't it? When everyone is looking for the others and when everyone is so helping to the others, everyone is so compassionate, you can't be cruel, you can't be do that. Suppose let us take even simple, again I'll come to the simple our daily life example. Okay, let us take when everyone they are going out for a puja, let us take. Now the puja definition has been changed. If they are going for a puja, if everyone is wearing like a 500 rupees sari, let us take. 500 or 1000 rupees sari only, they are just wearing it. If you go with the 10,000 rupees sari, how do you feel it? I'm giving a normal example. Because this is what we see the day to day, right? If you're going in the 10,000 rupees sari, how do you feel it? You feel odd man out, isn't it?
Awkward.
You feel awkward, isn't it? You feel awkward, out of the place, all the things, right? Because now what is happening now is, because that lady is bought at 5,000 rupees, and let me buy 6,000, let me buy 7,000. So that's how that we are in that process. When we have all the things, when everyone is, what I'm saying is, this is the end of the thing, right? When everybody became simple, you feel you are a rodman out and you have to follow their path. I'm just giving a very normal example, but what I'm saying is, this is how the situation. But more than that, suppose everybody is wearing 10,000 rupees sari, and if you take, if you should have the guts to take 1,000 rupees sari and go in a simple chain to the party. Do you need the guts or not for that? For that also, people will talk something or they may say something, but you should have the guts to go with that kind of thing. Here, what he is saying is, when everybody is available, one should have guts to choose this path, the great way. I just know example with the normal life example, because that is also really, because when everyone is going for a puja, doing all that, right, then you should go very simple. Go simple, because if anybody asks, I came for puja, I need to concentrate on the God, to become one with the God, not on the sari, blouse, jewelry, not on that. The moment you should literally have some kind of inner strength, you should have to do it. You should not go with the flow, right? That's the kind of thing the Percival is expecting us to do it, knowing the way, the great way. It's not easy. It's not easy not to compete, not to go with the flow. But you know that where the light is coming from. You and me know that where the light is coming from, what is our ultimate path. Ultimately, we all need to go there, the realm of permanence. But do you want to go now? Do you want to choose to go now? Or do you want to go later? Along with everybody. So this is up to you. So these many lifetimes you want to take your chance, it is totally up to you. That's what is Percival is saying here. Comparatively, only few will be take this as a public topic. Few only will want to go in this. All others will be disbelief. All these things will be disbelief for others. One who does not feel reasonably sure. Suppose if you are not sure to go the reasonably sure of there is a great way. There is a triune self. There is a doer in the triune self. Say, knower in the triune self. If you don't know that, will you go to that path? You will not go to that path. So you will not have quest to become oneself with that so supreme consciousness, or to go in that great path. You will not so sure. Then you will not be able to take it. You should not unwavering belief should be there to prepare oneself, to prepare yourself to go to this great way, right? You should take a decision. You should take a decision that I'm going in this path. The sooner you begin the work, the fewer lives are needed. The sooner you became this path, in the few lifetimes you go. The later you are taking, you have to take more and more lifetimes. Until then, is it clear or not? This is all we understood from the beginning. But again, Percival is consistently, persistently telling, the sooner you start the life of going into the great way, sooner, like maybe okay, 10 lives, maybe 50 lifetimes you can go. Later, if you want to enjoy, at one point, all the karma will be gone, all positive things you worked out is gone, right? Then you have to go in the harder way. So which one you are going to choose is up to you. Okay. Because now I have my bank balance credit is there. When there is a bank balance credit here, what is the credit that I have is good karma that I did it. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, credit. So when there is a lot of credit, if you are trying for this self, what will happen? Your other things will be taken care because there is a good credit is there. Your other things like your family, your kid, whatever it is there, right? Those things will be taken care by the universe because they will see that you will not get interrupted by all these things. Is it not good thing? When there is a credit. If there is no credit, you have to work that way and this way, which is very hard. Because in this lifetime, we are so beautifully, we got so much privileges, which means that our credit, our bank account of good karma is good. Let's use that for a good purpose. Okay. That is what we need to follow. That's what Percival is also saying, that one should not decide the way until he has given due consideration. You need to consider the due consideration of your relationships, your duties, your consequences, your marriage, everything you need to consider it. How much you can do it, how much you cannot do it. What is the relationship, relations also, how much you wanted to do that, how much you want to. See, in our lifetime, right? We married. So are we not eligible? We are eligible. But only thing is we should know where to stop our relationship, where to leave our relationships also. Leaving in the relationships in the sense not that you are going away from the relationships. You should be in the relationships, but you should not be getting too attached to that relationship. Suppose we got married, we got kids, we have a responsibility, we have a duty to raise them. Until when? Until when?
Until they go to college.
21, or until they finish the college, or until they get their own job. But what we are doing in our lives, we are holding on to that relationships forever. Their marriage, their kids, their functions, everything we are holding up, which is not at all a good thing. So whenever you wanted to go to the great way, you need to decide all your relationships, consequences. So when you are actually not doing certain things, people will definitely say that bad things about you. Are you ready for that? For a small, simple thing. Being born in a vegetarian family, that's a different thing. Being born in a non-vegetarian family, when I say that I am not eating the non-veg and I am not cooking, people will say, oh, you already gone case. You made your kids also. and you are not giving food to your husband. So these are the things that I face it. When I'm facing it, I should have that kind of resilience that I can face it. It's not that I know I'm doing good for them. Okay, I did not put the pressure on them not to eat anyway. It's their choice. It's their choice. They can. But as a person, I took a choice not to cook. This is totally. I had that kind of freedom, right? I can do that. So this is the kind of. It's not when such a small food, that is also the sense of the tongue only. If the people are doing it, if you are not taking care of, suppose your daughter something they need it, you went there 1 week, you did it and you come back, then people will definitely blame you, but you should be ready to take it. For such a small food thing or itself, I'm facing a lot of things. When you are actually doing all the things, you will be facing so many things, but you should always do that. You should always consider it. In the case of relationships, it should be mutually, naturally adjust in the due time. That relationships naturally should adjust. If one who is unmarried must understand, he cannot go. Yeah, so you may say, oh, married people cannot go because they have unmarried people also cannot go until they lose the desire for that sex. If you are unmarried, you went for a sannyasi or a brahmacharya, but you have the desire inside, the thinking is there inside, then you are not eligible. You are married, you got kids, you enjoyed your sex life, everything, but you mentally you took off that from your life, then you are eligible. It's not that whether if you should not have that desire, right? Sex indulgence is a continuation of the births and deaths. If you are indulging, that's a continuation of births and deaths. That way leads to the self-knowledge and perfect everlasting physical body. So here, whenever you want to go to the way, you need to remove that sexual life from your life, so whether you are married or unmarried, that thought should be removed. The conscious light should be shown the way. When you are showing the way, that's what, right? When you want to become the perfect sexless body, you cannot be indulged into the sexual activities. Okay. The degree that you trust, that how much ever the degree that you trust that you want to use the light, you should be using it. The light shows that the things that they are really are. What are the really? We must learn to distinguish from all other lights. What is that internal, the knower light? And what are the other lights? You should be able to distinguish. The difference is that lights of the senses and the lights of the nature. So you should always see that lights of senses and lights of nature. Sense is showing something, right? That's the what light. And the nature's light. If you see my background, it's so beautiful, isn't it? So whenever you see that, it's a just yesterday I went to visit somebody. So I didn't really go anywhere because I went to Denver, just visited that person and talked to that person, gave some kind of a positive thought and came back. But while talking, she said, okay, let's go for a walk. And we went to, it's just near to her home. There is a pond and the picture is from there. If you see that nature's light, you feel such a beautiful thing, isn't it? That is not giving you any sensual pleasure. Maybe if I go deeply, it may be giving your eyes pleasure because you saw that beautiful scenery. But it is not that you are consuming, it's a nature's light. Whereas other things, when you have some good kind of snack or good sweet or something, you feel so good. That is your sensual pleasure. You should be able to distinguish between your sensual pleasure and the essential light and the lights. Light that is bringing the senses and lights coming from the nature. Outside, you are not conscious of the objects which make the visible outwardly. So outwardly, whatever the objects, that is not you are not conscious. Inwardly, you should go into the inward consciousness. The lights of the nature do not know anything. They are conscious as their functions only, nothing more. The lights of the senses are conscious as their functions only, nothing more. The conscious of light is self-knowing. What is that conscious that you should know? The conscious light is self-knowing. Self-knowing. You should know yourself. Because when you start actually going in this way, right, in this direction, or thinking in this direction, definitely the way you think, whatever that you see, right, it will change. The way you perceive the things will change. That's what yesterday I observed myself when I visited there and see that girl and see that family, right? The whole perception of me, maybe like 10 years back, if I see that kind of, ayyo, papam, what is this? That kind of thoughts I would have got it. Now, totally, my thinking was changed after learning all these things and going through all the things, right? I feel like it is the situation that was presented to me to learn something. I need to learn something from that situation. How the people are handling, how I'm actually, how I would have handled if I was there. I would not handle that well as the people that they are handling, right? So I just took that as a lesson, right? In the what is that celestial prophecy? He says every situation is for, it's not mere coincidence, it's coming to you to teach you something. I just felt that way. That's how, if you start thinking, right, your light, because you're focusing your light innerwards than outerwards, right? When somebody, because somebody is suffering, you will not see that they're suffering, or you will not see, because their suffering is whatever that they are doing, they are handling, but you see that with the inner light. When you see that with the inner light, right, totally your perception will change. That's what he is change here. That's what he is saying. When the conscious light is going inside, it's a self knowing. The conscious, that is the light that knows that it knows everything. That's what it knows, that it knows everything. The knowledge of all things of the nature, the knowledge of the greater self, the knowledge of the light that goes, what is the consciousness in oneself. Without that conscious light, without that light, you are focusing the light, right? You cannot go to the find the way. In the right thinking, you can use the light. When you seek the way, the light will show you and keep you the way. When you see the light, the light will show you and keep you that light will show you and keep you the way. You must qualify yourself in two arts in order to find the right. What is the true two ways? What is that true ways? Can anybody tell? It is, you must have learned so long back when you come to this path itself. It's nothing new. You need to see the things as they are. First art is, you need to see the things as they are.
Yeah.
Which means that without perceptions, without any baggage.
Just to witness the situation.
Witness the
without
situation.
attaching anything.
Without judging.
Attaching anything.
Without judging.
Without judging. We have to see the things as they are. Like, I don't know. I kept teaching in another book. When you see the rose, it's so beautiful. Okay. That's red in color. As they are means as they are. The rose is made up of what? Tell me.
Panchabhutas.
Exactly. The rose is made up of your earth, water, sunshine. Either, all the things. You should be able to see that kind of thing. Everything as they are. Similarly, that means that kind of real things we have to see. Suppose if Sirisha or Balagar came and says something to me now, I should see, the other day they told me that, now they are telling, because my perception, my mind is jumping, it's concluding, it's judging. That kind of thing should not be there. I should see as is like a fresh person's. They are just talking that word to me. I have to take that only now. That's a kind of thing that we need to have it. It's a hard, because we keep on got used that kind of thing, right? That's the thing. So what I see is what I see, right? Why they are saying that I have to learn the things that you see the appearances. You see the appearances, but you are not seeing when rose is, that is a red rose. I could see why they are saying that I have to see. Rose is an appearance. Rose is an appearance. What the really is, Panchabhutas.
The
It is
expression of the
manifesting as
Panchabhutas.
it's manifesting as a rose at one place. It is manifesting as a banana in other place. But the same Panchabhutas, is it not? Both of them need the same soil, same sunlight, same water, same thing. But they are manifesting. So they are appearances, not the original things. So you should be able to distinguish that. It is just the manifestation. You need to see what they really are. That's an acquiring art. That's an acquiring art. So in this acquiring art, in a normal day-to-day life, what are the two things that we have to take it off in order to see? Preference and prejudice. We have to take out from our thinking preference and prejudice. There should not be any preference. You have to see the things as they are. Suppose there are 4 kids came for a food. Let us take. You have 4 bananas and you have 4 bananas and 5 kids came for the food. Let us take. You have to give one banana. So 1 kid is left over. Out of those 5 kids, 1 kid is your kid. Will you leave your kids or will you give your kids first? They are hungry. What you will do?
Normally, you give your kid.
Normally, that's what we are saying. It became so normal. We will give our kid first. Because we want, as a mother, I need to take care of, that's my duty, that's my responsibility, so many things we tell. Okay, but we should leave that preference. Whoever comes first, give first. That's done. Irrespective of whether it's your kid or not. I'm not saying that you should not give your kid. That's also preference. Right? So that's a kind of preference, prejudice. Do not show any prejudice on anyone. Whatever that they do, even that they did something bad to you. Let's take Balagar took $1,000 and she ran away. Do not show that prejudice to her, because you must have heard that you should be giving, you should have taken $100 from her and you ran away. Now the toll is $1,000, you have to pay it. Done. I'm not saying give again $1,000 to Balagar. That's not the thing. You have to learn the lesson, but you should not have any prejudice. She's taking off your karma away. Whatever that the debt that you have, she's taking it off. That way you have to think. Take out that preference and prejudice in thinking. These are the heirlooms of a human. The heirlooms of a human. Take it up. Then you will find the way. When you take it off, then you will find the way. Preference and prejudice grow in the mind's eye, like a cataracts of a physical life. Cataracts of a physical life. That's how it is growing. So cataract, do you want to keep it in your eyes, physical eyes? No, right? Similarly, mind eye, the preference and prejudice are going off. Take that off. Like you are going and taking a surgery of the cataract. Take the surgery of this out from your life. Okay? So we don't want to keep the cataracts. So thus, when you did that, conscious light is dimmed. So if you are not taking that, your conscious light will get dimmed and it will finally obscured. If you are keeping your preference and prejudice, your conscious light will get dimmed. Therefore, you should remove that or forget that. They can be removed by virtue. They can be removed by virtue. Virtue means what? It's a one's own power and will practice the honesty and truthfulness. You should have that power to practice the honesty and truthfulness. It's not easy. Like I gave you small examples, right? I am late to the office and the officer, my boss asked me, why are you late? Today, that day, you didn't get up in the morning. Okay, you became lazy and you didn't get up in the morning. That's why you're late. You should have the honesty that today I couldn't get up. The reason could be anything. Today I couldn't get up, that's why I was late. Don't blame the traffic and all. Today I just read some joke. Learn astrology and blame the stars for all the things that you have done. Because we are such a way that we are finding the way to blame something, right? It's not the thing, right? So you should not, because only way that to go to the great way is start practicing the truth and honesty every part of your life. Each and every part of your life, you start practicing. That's the beginning of your journey. So do not take any exemptions. Because of that, you may lose the friends. That's okay. That's okay. They are not your friends. You should be able to tell honestly. That's a kind of thing that you should be able to do it. That's a power. That's why that's a virtue. That's a willpower that you need to practice. Honesty begins with the right thought, right motive of oneself, and is expressed one's actions dealing with others. Honesty is not merely a passive, not taking what belongs to the others, and it is an active refusal of considering being devious and crooked. It's not that honesty, I never take anything from, but people will say, I never take anything from anybody. I'm so honest. I never take the thing that belongs to Balagar or Sirishugar. I never took it. That's not honesty. I never thought, I never release a thought that harms them too, even though whatever the negative things that happen to me because of them. I'm just giving an example because they are in front of me. But in general, anybody, if you are actually not releasing any thought, that kind of a thing, then only it's an honesty. Then only you are just practicing the thought. That's the thing. Truthfulness is the purpose of practice of stating facts as they are without intent to deceive. That's a truthfulness. Practice the stating the facts without intent to deceive. Truthfulness is not mere negative assent to or a statement what is so, or fearful of misstatement of being mistaken. No, you should not be mistaken. But, oh, if I say the truth, it may happen. That's not the thing. It is a strict intent not to deceive oneself. Then be direct in the statement of facts. In the simple words, allow no opposition. Simple words. What is that? Whatever comes, you should be able to tell. That's the thing. One may have strong will and a general acquittance with honesty and truthfulness, but yet do not have a virtue. Virtues does not happen at once. That willpower will not happen at once. It has to be developed. It has to be practiced. It is to practice the truthfulness and honesty. It is not easy. It is strict. There is a movie I didn't remember, Rajendra Prasad movie. He says the heroine Shobhana, I think, she asked for 1 month, don't lie. Do you remember? 1 month, don't lie. So it become in the movie it shows how hard it is. April Vakati Vidudala.
Yeah,
that's the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so how hard it is. That is the kind of, because he always lies. It became like too challenging for him. Because to be honest, but because he wants that girl, right? So that's how. So here we want that great way. That kind of thing we should have it. Then only that virtue, that willpower will come to us. Otherwise, we will not be able to go to that thing. We will practice that honesty, practice that truthfulness, develop a strong, fearless character. Don't fear for anybody. Fearless character. Dishonesty and falsehood are then the strangers. Then dishonesty or a falsehood will become a strangers. Then you don't need virtue because it became your character. So people will also say, suppose if you are not, let us take Thursday night, I won't go anywhere. This is primary, I just need to be there in the class. That's my goal, right? So whatever it happen, even if somebody small function, so many people will call, oh, Prasanna won't come because Thursday she had a class. Now that Saturday also I'm taking class. Oh, even if she comes, she will go early. Or she'll come late. When I'm doing Manabadi, Sunday, if any function, she won't come. It's a stamp. The reason is, you take that willpower that I will not deviate this for any other thing. Similarly, you should say that my great way is my ultimate path. For that, I will not lie. I will always be truthful. I will always be honesty. Then people will say, oh, that lady will tell whatever that comes to her mind. Be careful. Isn't that? So when you started talking, people will get used. So don't get the fearless. But that people may think that thinking that we will actually going our consciousness, we are dimming our consciousness. Conscious light shows the conscious things what they are actually. One is then truly qualified to learn what to do and what not to do. When the second thing is, first thing is see the things what they are. Second thing that you need to know is what to do, what not to do. What to do and what not to do is the greatest thing. Vivekam, yes. Because I'm a truthfulness at the end, in that movie also, at the end he shows he lies for one place where he has to, where it's some situation comes. That's Vivekam. So where he has to truth, because when it comes to the other people's life or other people's thing, then the lying you may have to do. It's not a casual lie. He has to lie because he need to save somebody. That thing also you should have it. What to do and what not to do. Be honest, but what to do, what not to do. These are the two things that we need to know. The second art is knowing what to do and what not to do. And knowing what to do and doing that, knowing what not to do and not doing that. These two things you need to learn. Now you speak to your thinker and ask guidance. Now you know that there is a doer I am doing. Now go and ask the thinker and go and ask your knower. Guide me, please, by knower. You in your meditation you may say my higher self or whatever it is. Here our knower, please guide me the way I think, what to think. So bring your righteousness to your thinker. Always be righteousness. Bring your righteousness to your thinker. That will speak to your consciousness of your heart and tell what to do. And reason your thinker. Bring that reasoning to your thinker, what not to do. Practice this in the art of life. The art of knowing what to do and do the thing. The art of knowing what not to do and do not do that thing. Your preparation, this is all your preparation to go in the great way. This is the preparation to your great way. The four practices of the two, for the practicing these two great things, of seeing the things as they are and knowing what to do and what not to do, your ordinary everyday experience will give all the opportunities to practice. Every day you will face so many things. Every day you will face so many things, right? What to do, what not to do, what to think, what not to think. See the things as they really are. Once you are in that path, every day it will shows you so many opportunities. Life shows you so many opportunities to learn these things, to practice these things. You need not surprise the way that it is happening. It happens ordinary and beyond your duties. Whatever happens, it will be your training. It is the development of your character. Whether it is a strange or a commonplace, it is all the development of your character. Duties are important. As always, duties are important. They are most important when one decides to be on the way. But no duties, because you have a kids and you have a responsibilities, you have a duty, no duties should stop you to deciding the great way. No duties. Because no human ever be free from until performed all the duty. Nobody is ready. I have some duty. If my kids are done, oh, I need to do a marriage. After marriage, oh, I need to take care of 1 or 2 deliveries. After delivery, oh, my daughter is, her career is important. I need to take care of her kids. Is that anywhere our duties end in our life? If you keep going on, these duties will never help, never end. You should not, this duty should not come interfere your deciding of the great way. Once you decided the great way, these duties will fall off. That's what he's saying. Fall off or taken care. That you need not worry about these duties. Those things will be performed all at one go. They will be performed at their goodwill or whatever it is, right? Without any undue expectations, without any fear, you can decide. When one position's life, it's a lofty, one's position of the life be lofty or lowly does not matter. Whether married or single is not a matter. With family or without family, it doesn't matter. Good faith or not having faith, it doesn't matter. All that is, you need to agree to go this way. Once you go and agree to this way, all the ties will be broken automatically. Naturally, the ties will be fallen off. Duties that would ordinarily seems to be inseparable will naturally fall off properly. They will take their own circumstances. They will ordinarily, the time will happen. They have a purpose of your training. Whatever that you have done as a duty all these days, you have that training of the purpose of the training is there. So that is all the purpose of the training. So I'll tell you an example, right? So in my life, because that's where actually I learn the nishkama karma. How it how it practices, right? So as few of my close friends know, I decided to adopt a kid, and I went fight for that kid in the court for 4 or 5 years. Okay, I stopped my having my second kid and fought for it and took what is that guardianship from the father to us. So we took care of her so much, and after her engineering, we bought her here masters and all the thing. Now she got in the COVID time, we also got her married. Okay, now if I call or if I text or anything, oh, I don't have time, I can't manage. So something like that. So sometimes I got hurt. What is this? What is the time that if you cannot manage, because I'm married, right, Penny, so I don't have time. Because if I think that after married, I left my 4 months old kid and went all the way from Hyderabad to Vizag and attended the court and fought for you. Do you think that I have the time all in the world? No, right? So this is what is that? I introspected myself. What is that it is actually hurting?
Your expectation.
Exactly. It is the expectation is the one that is hurting. Why did you do that? You wanted to help a kid, a girl kid. If it because if she goes, her life will not be the same. That's why you helped. So what did you get? You got a satisfaction. You got a happiness. Keep that happiness. Keep that satisfaction. Don't put the expectation here. The moment you put the expectation, you started getting hurt. So that's where we have to remember, do whatever you do it, forget it. Do whatever you do it, forget it, because you are doing because you are just getting a happiness out of it. If you keep expectation, then you are doomed. Is it not? Same way, because as you know, when I'm doing my masters, there are 11, 12 people are there in that group. I try to do everything good for everybody. If they forget an assignment, hey, come on, you forgot this assignment, you have to submit. The deadline is coming up, you need to do this. Do you need any help? So everything, whatever they ask, I used to do it. But there is a girl, because everybody should like the way that we think, right? There's a girl in my class. The moment she saw my name itself, she'll get her BP shoots of 400, 500. Okay, whatever I say, she'll get like this. So after one semester, I said, I will not take this coordinator kind of thing, right? Between the university, I will not do that. Let somebody do it. I don't care. Because I don't want to take that kind of, what do you say, the prejudice, you can say, right? I don't want to do that. Then one lady in my class, she asked me, why did you do that for everybody? Did you do because you need praise from them? Or are you genuinely you want to do good for others and you did it? What is that caused? Suppose if you say that you want to do good for others, you already did, you are already doing it. Why are you stopping it? Suppose you want praise from others, 10 people are praising, only one lady is doing. That also, it's already fulfilled. Then why are you stopping it? That question triggered me to think within myself a lot, because we are always focusing on the negative things, not on the positive things. There's only one girl who just said the 10 people who appreciated it. Why I am not focusing that? Because our focus is going on the bad things. I may be openly telling, but every one of us, this life situations is the same. We need to analyze why that situation came to my life. It is trying to teach me a lesson. If I take that, now I don't have anything bad on that girl also. Whether she changed her opinion or not, I changed my opinion. Because she came to teach me some lesson, I took that lesson. This is how we need to start thinking. When we start this thinking, then we will be good. So I will stop here because of want of time. I thought I would complete this. Sorry, I go into the examples and all.
Yeah.